You should have went live on Lip Gloss is Popping.
Wow, that just bled into the intro.
We are live now. Just like I'm not pausing for dramatic effect. I honestly don't know where to go, which way to go with the show tonight.
Can I
welcome to the company. Say what?
Can I start real quick? I just thought. So Helen Keller died in 1968, and she had some inspirational words. She says, "I don't see race. I don't see color. I don't see anything."
Wait, what happened? I was not focused right there.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. So I'm good. I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Missed that. There's so many different directions we can go tonight. I mean, we could continue our conversation. Of course, we could talk about the riot, the protest.
Is that an air
We could
horn?
talk about some of the riots that came out of the protests. Tonight in DC, Trump ordered the military and the police to gas a large group of people who were there for a peaceful protest, so he could take a picture in front of a church
with a Bible in his hand, like he really gives a fuck. That shit should have exploded in his hand.
And I know, like they say, sometimes things aren't supposed to affect you when you're not there because you didn't experience it. But I don't know why that hit me so hard. It's kind of like the nail in the coffin, just saying that we're not supposed to be here. Like, this is not a society we're supposed to be a part of or
who is
enjoying like everybody else. I mean, just the minorities, the black people, the brown people.
Oh, I knew who you're speaking for. I'm just making sure you let everybody else know.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm hurt over the whole thing. Like, I'm super hurt over the whole thing, and I don't really know what to say. We had protests this weekend, just passed. Of course, we were trying to bring awareness of everything that's going on as far as cops and police brutality and injustices against everybody that have a right to be here. Unfortunately, some of the protests have been interrupted by people who were not there for the same reasons. Catching a lot of people on tape doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. So I don't know, man. I'm actually mentally exhausted.
I'm mad as shit. That's just plain and simple. I'm mad. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. It's like there is no way that it's 2020, right? And we are on the other side of, we had, and I'm just playing everything through how it's going through my mind right now. Like, we had a black president, and all this is just in response to there's a power dynamic shift, and people don't like it. And it's like you got too close to the sun, so now we got to tear you back down to show you that you're not on the same page as you think you were. So it's upsetting because it's like people they're trying. My wife and I, we talked about this earlier, and I said, the thing that keeps giving me hope with all of this is that it's the fact that I think most people want to do the right thing. It's just that either they don't know how, or they are only willing to do it when it's convenient. And that's the shit that bothers me. Because we watched a white woman 2 weeks ago, literally was probably one of those I don't see color, Hillary Clinton supporting, ready to go with it. And she weaponized race so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Easily.
Where she literally could have been a Klansman at that moment and you wouldn't have known the damn difference. And to have that kind of gall, there's no way that people can say that there is innocence in knowing where the world is right now. This shit is everywhere.
Yeah.
We're at the point now where I don't give a damn what color your ass is. You know that this shit is not right, and you know that what is being done is something you are well aware of, and we know that to claim that you have ignorance is you just honestly being stupid. So I'm just at the point now where it's like, granted, yes, things got to change, and and I said this before, slavery is only 2 people ago. Joe Biden and another fucking 78-year-old, and we will clearly be back into 1864. So there is no way we can say it's like this is like we've come a long way, because they would have called me, like, if I would have killed a white man, it'd have been death by Negro. Like I'm a fucking pit bull. So I mean, so there is no, so to go from where we were to where we are now, we have come a long way. But we still got shit to do. And that's what frustrates me, because we got people tearing other people's property up. You have law enforcement officers that aren't doing the right thing, and that's hard. And it's hard for me to really even see that, man, because see, like, my dad was a cop, so when people say stuff like all cops are bad, and it's like that for me is like, no, it's not. That's not true. That's not how we work. Yeah. Because anytime someone says all cops are bad, then replace cops with any demographic, and that's where you are.
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah. So that I can't stand when I see that. But there is a matter of acknowledging the fact that I can say that yes, there are law enforcement officers that do some really terrible shit, clearly, like the guy in Minnesota. But then at the same time, it's also like, there are those who do the right thing. There are examples of that. There are examples of protests where law enforcement has actually come together with the community to actually show how to do things the right way. But
the thing is, you say that there are clearly good cops, but I'm like, the thing in Minnesota, you got one cop that's physically killing a dude, right, and more cops standing around. And so there was not one good cop in that whole bunch that could stop
there were not, and that's the thing is that
you always hear birds of a feather, right?
Right, but here's the thing.
You have 4 cops.
Jason, give me a second. 1 second.
0 shits.
You're right. So you got 4 cops that are did the completely wrong thing, right? But I've said this before, and y'all have heard me say this. There are 2 things that get people to change: loss of life, loss of finance. You pick one of them things, that'll get people to do the right thing. Law enforcement, like, I got family, I got friends who work in that profession. There's got to be accountability in this shit, man, because there's no way you're telling me that I can't think of any other job where you literally can kill a man and go to work the next day. Like that there is a problem with that.
But I think those are the jobs that give people the most power and the ones that give people the most abuse or chance to abuse, because you do have doctors that have power and they abuse it.
But here's the thing. But the thing about it though is that if you're a doctor and you got a malpractice suit, your ass ain't working. If you're a cop,
how that works, right?
But if you're a cop and you've killed him, like the guy in Minnesota, that's not his first rodeo. Like that's what upsets me, is that it's not like
16 occurrence.
Right. He's killed a man before. So there is no way that he should have been doing what he's done. So it's like, and I'm throwing this question out there. It's like, accountability's got to be where the rubber meets the road, because there's no way you can sit here and be like, yeah, cop, all cops are bad and you're doing X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, I mean, I don't think that's true at all, but to have some sort of way where you can say, okay, you fucked up, you shouldn't be able to work, period. Because again, like I said, loss of life, loss of finance, that is a power dynamic to where law enforcement, unfortunately, they don't get that opportunity to have the same fear that we would have if we happen to take somebody's life. That fear is not there. The fear of consequence associated with that isn't there. So this is where a lot of issue. It's a power dynamic thing, and that's what makes me upset about all this, is the fact that all of this has just come down is straight up power, and that needs to change.
So okay, we've stated the problem, and this happens with a lot of people. They can tell you what the problem is, but they don't have any solutions, or they don't have any way to fix what's wrong.
I got that, but y'all go ahead. I talked too much already. I don't know. I don't talk as much, but today I'm just.
I don't know if I was in this room when I mentioned it. Well, not when I mentioned it, but if somebody mentioned it, it might have been one of y'all. So if I'm stealing your idea, just let me know. When these things happen, because a lot of these cops, it was y'all. A lot of these cops will move and they'll find another job someplace else.
Right.
There needs to be a list.
I think Izzo posted that.
That was an amazing idea.
What did I post?
There should be a list, a database of these cops somewhere that you can tap into, so you can't just go and do these things and then go to another precinct and get the same job.
It's a lot of.
I
was just saying, it's so much that we should collect data on. The CDC should collect data on. The FBI, whoever should collect data on. But Congress or Senate, over the past, I would say 4 to 6 years, won't do it, because we know who's been in power. They won't do it because they know what we're going to find. They know exactly what we're going to find.
Oh,
that power shift will occur if that data leaks.
You know what's funny about that is that there is literally, they call it the non-resident violator compact that goes through all the states, right? And this is, how, like, for example, if you were a bad driver in one state, if you try to get a driver's license in another state, that don't work. Why can't, like, it's amazing that we have that.
Don't give him a lot. Don't give him a lot.
That's just like companies share HR information. If you get fired for these things, if, let's say, A company fired you, B company may share the same type of database with your information, your junk will automatically turn red when you apply to anyone. Exactly. Same concept. But
there's a workaround with that too, Izzo. So they can come to a plea deal. So we're not gonna fire you for racism. You can quit. We'll give you the option to quit. So
to where it's like fudging the paperwork.
Exactly. So when you go find another job, we call your references, sure. They quit. That's all I can say.
Right.
Yeah.
You just got to job. Like HR does that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's why I said I know how HR works. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I say exactly. That's why I said what I said. I said I know exactly how the HR crap works.
So I mean, I've been HR 18 years. There's workarounds. So and that's how people who get fired for police brutality get hired on as, well, we're gonna put you through some accounting classes or some bullshit, and you could be part of this department.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm talking out of turn off.
Boring you, my brother?
No, man. It's been a long day. I'm very engaged. Don't worry.
It's the red light special.
Yo, you engaged?
Huh?
You engaged?
Engaged? Congratulations.
Congrats, my dude. Had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what just happened, but Jason, it's time for you to talk.
Yeah.
Oh man, listen. You asked about solutions, right? So I think to become a police officer, right? So the idea there is that you have somebody to protect and serve a community, protect and serve a community, right?
Amber.
There's what I saw in Minneapolis, there was no protection and no serving, right? I mean, from my understanding of police officers, they are also trained to be first responders to save somebody's life, right? So if at any point in a situation where you're detaining somebody, if they start to say something along the lines of "I can't breathe" or "I'm having an asthma attack" or whatever the case may be, and you already have them detained, get them off the ground and get them healthy, right? I mean, this is not a Judge Dredd type of situation,
Mm,
right?
mm.
You are not executioner here, right?
You are
And
not the law.
even if you're talking about a man that is doing some sort of crime, so forgery, it is not punishable by death. You know what I'm saying? It is crazy to me. In 2020, and Rich said it earlier, we've come a long way, but we've got a long way to go, right? But we still are in 2020, and it's insane to me that people, white supremacists or whoever we're talking about here, cannot see the value on a black man's life, right? And
Yeah.
it also is so, man, I don't even know. Y'all know me, I'm not the type of dude to cry a lot. But things that have
Lies.
just really hit me so deep lately,
He didn't hear
whatever.
that.
Y'all can
I'm
all
playing. I'm
kick
playing.
But I mean, I legit scroll through my social media, and I've got a lot of y'all know. I mean, there's no telling all the different nationalities that's on my friends list. But I scroll through, and I'm just like, I see a story, right? And a friend of mine, I'm not gonna call his name. It's his story, you know. So a friend of mine that I've known for a long time has this whole story about how he was, and this is a good guy. Like, I mean, his dad's a reverend. He's always looking to help people, but he fit the description in a moment story. You know what I mean? And I scroll through my timeline and I see it time after time after time. And then I start watching videos and you see grown men crying because they're like, yo, I'm literally scared to go get gas, right? Or to go get lunch for the day. We have got to listen. And I'm a white dude. I know somebody said it on here before. I make some really good points, but ain't nobody trying to hear it because I'm white. I feel you, whatever.
And I think, not to cut you off, but I don't think that's the right attitude to have.
Well,
I mean,
I don't
you know what, and that's and are you exactly right, man? Because if that's how we're going to get to where you have this broadening of the condition or understanding what the condition is. You know, Jason understands where we're coming from in such a way to where he can at least be an advocate for us out in the world, where, you know, in places where our voices aren't necessarily heard. Because Jason brought up examples before, even on his own, where he's saying, like, you know, do, like, it was a political conversation and you interjected, you're like, well, that's just not how things work, man. And even though it might not have changed his mind, it still was like, hey, you know, there's another level of thought, and I didn't think that was possible because of the way that he looked. Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry, but I just want to give you kudos. That's it.
Well, nah, man. Listen, I appreciate it, but all I'm trying to say really is it baffles me that we are not at a point where there's more people of across the color spectrum, every skin tone that can't sit back and look and say, look, there is obviously an issue here, right? Yes, I mean, I'm not an all life matters kind of person, but I do think that everybody's life matters. What I'm trying to say is right now, even if you are all lives matter type of person, you need to sit back and say, you're right, they do. But right now, black lives are being taken unjustly. So that's where we need to focus in the moment, right? It drives me insane that anybody, I don't, even if we take the color of Mr. Floyd's skin off the table, for you to do any human being that way is insane to me.
Right.
And then if you put it back to back to back with all the different moments that this has happened to a black man, and recently how it's happened, what, at least 4 times in the last that big public incidents. I'm
Right.
sure it's happened way more than
Yeah,
4
yeah.
times in the last few months, but I'm just saying big public incidents at least 4 times in the last 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
if
and
anybody
something
tries
should-
to justify that shit, man,
something should click with the people that are like, oh, these people are just complaining, they need to go home and blah blah blah. Because I've seen people say this. So something should click with you. Okay, if it's an isolated protest, like let's say it's in Atlanta, like, okay, these people need to go home, ain't nobody else making all this noise, blah blah blah. But then when you see like 45 of the 50 states protesting,
Right.
Yeah.
and now you got Europe doing the same thing,
Oh,
it should
yep.
click. Something's wrong.
It's
with
a
the police.
world, it's a country problem, but it's
they're not
definitely a
even
world
in
problem.
America, and they're like, hold up, something ain't right with that.
It's the
Yeah,
world,
And
it's
you
a
got
world
people
problem.
in America that's like, ain't nothing wrong. It's made
They're
up.
yelling the same. You're yelling
narrative.
because they're having the same issues. There is a
Mhm.
problem with the people that we put in place to protect us, and it's a mental issue. I don't know if you saw the video of the protesters holding their line, and then there's like 4 or 5 cops standing in front of them, and one cop is like kind of offset from everybody else. And he's just jumping side to side, ready. You know, he's just like screaming shit, like he just took pre-workout or something.
Hold on.
Like he's ready to start shooting. So there's something mentally off about some of the people that want to be or have been on the police force, and we need to figure out what the hell is going on, because all they're doing is taking lives and making this worse.
Absolutely. That's what I actually completely forgot when you were talking about solutions. One thing that we absolutely have to do is get the right personality type in law enforcement, right? It's specifically because of what you just said. There's really, from my experience, I've only seen 3 personality types that goes into law enforcement. One is, I absolutely want to clean this place up. This is my town, my community. I need it to be better. I want my kids to have a good life. That type of person. The next person is, well, hell, they gonna pay me to do it. I ain't got nothing else to do. Let me just be a cop, right? And then the third one is the one you just talked about, that was all hyped up in the middle of this riot gear because they get high on power, on authority, on having that authority, right? That type right there, the first 2 is absolutely fine. The one that wants to make a change, let's make a change, right? The second one is like, you know what, I need a job. Let me do the best I can do in my job. Let me just take this job. Those are fine. You can teach both of those how to be amazing officers, protect and serve communities. That power hungry type, we got to find a way to get that vetted out.
You know what? Oh,
We
go ahead,
can't
sir.
have that type in.
And
The
to
interview process is
to piggyback on that point, Jason, is that would get, this is coming from, you know, my own personal experience. Law enforcement officers don't make a lot of money, and to say that, you know, this is another thing that also really like gets me riled up about this, is because so many times people say law enforcement's important, but you pay them shit.
Yep.
Like how can you put, you got to keep in mind, not only, you know, to the point of them being supposedly a protector, you want them to be a psychologist, you want them to be some sort of researcher, you want them to, you know, be the buddy that you never had. So you got all of these roles they're supposed to fill for the public, and yet you pay them next to nothing. And that's a lot of stress to put on a person, on top of the fact that not only is it just them doing their job, but to do it in such a way to where they are honoring the mission that they're supposed to serve. So
Yeah.
I am 100% with you that there's got to be a better process for selecting those people, because the reality of it is we are getting what we paid for.
Yep.
I think 2 of the most important people in our society are teachers and policemen.
Right.
Agreed.
Correct.
And I made that comment so many times. Both of them are so underpaid. Right.
Yeah.
And what Rich just said, you get what you pay for. If we had better salaries for both those positions, right? then you would get a better quality candidate, which should mean better quality policing and better quality education.
Right. Hands down.
They go hand in hand when you throw money into the pot, but
Absolutely.
It's kind of bad because so you not blaming. So you're saying there's bad cops because there's fucked up teachers.
No,
no,
no, no, sir. No, sir, not at all.
We're not.
That's not.
I mean, coincidentally, maybe, but
Go ahead.
Agree because my 7th grade teacher, Miss Dominic, is a piece of shit.
oh my
And she
God.
had future cops in her
we'll
class.
never have Miss Dominic on the show.
Fuck her. And those cops that was in her class ain't shit either. So
Wow, so. All right.
anytime I go home, we have words. Fuck Mark Mendoza. Fuck, what's that fucking white dude's name? Fuck him too.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
We'll never have random white dudes besides Jason on the show.
I'm not a random, so you can.
Yeah, Jason's
Right.
not random.
I'm just
That
saying.
doesn't apply to him anymore.
How about you find the light and cut it on, brother?
It's on. That's what she said.
The red light
Misty,
special.
I agree with Misty. I'm making a joke, but
Yeah.
you have to agree that there are some bullshit teachers too.
Well, what's the argument? I don't understand what the argument is from the people who control these pay scales that we can't pay teachers and cops more.
You know what? That is
Because
a really
go
good
ahead.
answer.
They look
That's a
at them
good
as
answer.
servants. That's why they
Right.
look at them as the help. That's why.
The funny thing is, public servant, like if you go to, I
Mhm.
can't tell you off the top of my head, but public servants in Chicago,
Mhm.
like third ward, like aldermen, they get paid pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. But cops don't get paid that good.
No, they don't. You have to ascend for that to happen.
Firefighters get paid better than cops. Because every now and then you hear a cop say, I should have been a firefighter.
Damn.
Just saying.
I didn't know that was a thing, to keep it real with you.
Oh, in
You have
Chicago,
to make these positions desirable.
here.
You have to make these positions desirable in order to attract a better upper echelon of people. Because mostly, if you're just paying, to be honest with you, the people who take low paying jobs are the people who need jobs.
Right.
And the people who really, really need jobs and fell on hard times, they done been through some shit,
Yeah.
you know. And a lot of times, I'm not saying everybody, because there are really good people that just make shitty money. But a lot of times you attract a horrible group of people. That's why you get bad teachers, and that's why you get bad cops.
Because what's the age limit on cops? 21?
I would say I wouldn't say there's an age limit per se, but
No, you can't be younger than 21 though.
oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
There is an intro age. I just don't remember what it was. I think it was 21.
I think it's
So
21.
if you
Yeah.
don't get a good job by 21, you're either going to the military or you're gonna stay home and join the fucking police force. You know what I mean? So you're at a community college. I can't do algebra. I can't do pre-algebra. I don't want to go to the military. Fuck it, I'm gonna join the police force.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I think
Said
I think
that.
we're talking solutions, and I think we got to find a better way to vet them. So the power hungry people cannot be in a position of authority. It's just.
But you
not
won't know
gonna
that
end well.
until. See, the sad thing about that, Jason, is you won't know that until they're already a cop. So you have to actually wait for an incident.
Bro,
to say,
Okay,
that psychology
that's
test
fair.
they give you, that
That's fair.
psychology test they give you before you're a cop is so bullshit. I can pass it.
God damn. So,
Stop letting you. Come on, man. Big yourself up. Don't break yourself down. But listen, that's a good point, though. That's a good point. So to your point, right? If that's the case, because it's just like anywhere, right? You know, interviews and everything. You don't really never ever know who you hire until you hire them and get them on the job, right?
Exactly.
But every single job has some sort of code of business conduct or write-up process, right?
mhm.
That let's listen. I was in management for a long time. There's a lot of people that I had to put paperwork on and say, "Look, you about to lose your job." Like I even had to fire a really good friend of mine at one point, just because straight up because my man could not come to work on time. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like perfect at his job, but could never be there.
Come on.
Hell no, you ain't put my job at risk.
Same thing same thing as police officer, right? And Rich said this earlier, where's the accountability? If you show signs of being power hungry or racist, or I don't know, maybe you are so obese that you can't do your job properly to save somebody's life, whatever the case may be, there has to be things that's put there and accountability has to be there. And you gotta get rid of them people.
Yeah.
Exactly. What he said.
There you go.
But see, like I said, you can put them through all the tests you want to. You can send them to the psychologist. You can hook them up to all these machines. You won't know that they're not supposed to be in that position until they've made a mistake.
Listen,
but
God forbid somebody loses their life.
Even the
but
dude,
you won't know.
the cop in Mr. Floyd's case, right? There was something that just came out that said he worked security at a nightclub, right?
Yeah,
and when he worked, and the owner or manager or whatever that club said, she noticed that when they were dominantly black or all black events, he was always on edge, and instead of focusing on the issue at hand, he would pepper spray the entire club, or he would make something happen. There's always warning signs.
Right.
I mean, even so, Dylan Roof, there was warning signs on his social media. There was warning signs that his head wasn't right. He was the white supremacist, that he was planning on going and taking out some lives. There's always warning signs. All I'm saying is we have to be, I don't know if it's you, I don't know what it is, but it's got to be some sort of way to vet the psychological portion of someone before you let them join the police force.
Jay,
or any power of authority.
One thing, and I feel like this falls on the supervisors. You were a manager. I think everybody in this group has been in a supervisory position.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can tell at hiring, and you be like, "I'm not hiring your ass." Sometimes you can tell during training, "Oh, you're going to be a piece of shit." But sometimes you get, like in the military, sometimes you get through basic, you get through your job school, and then you get to your first station and you be like, "Oh, he's good," and then something happens.
Stress.
Oh, what the fuck happened to you?
It's like somebody who was good in high school as a prospect, good in college, did well at the combine, gets a league as a bust.
Like Timothy McVeigh, Timothy McVeigh was fine until a certain point in his career. He got out and then fuck it, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I blame the supervisors. How do you not evaluate better? You need to know what the problem, who your problem children are.
Or is there an evaluation process? That's my point.
How is there not?
There might not be.
Because a lot of these places are always hiring, just to keep it a stack. A lot of these places are always hiring.
But if you're hiring, hire. But if you're looking for promoting or keeping, there should be an evaluation system in every corporation, in every state agency, in every federal agency. Because all right, now we got to get rid of you because you trash.
But don't some lines of work get certain perks by keeping their shrink low or keeping their turnover low?
Of course.
No, absolutely. That's always a perk. That plays into your bottom line.
If I'm in trouble, like if I have a police force, I'm not saying police do this, but if I'm over a police station and I'm already in trouble for turnover, you know, I'm going to overlook a few things that happen with my cops just so I can keep them at the job and keep my turnover low.
Also, keep in mind, though, is that the thing with turnover is that if people, you know how the old adage goes, is that people don't leave jobs, they leave managers. So if your turnover is high, then they start looking at you. And so that's an incentive. there's an incentive to not having turnover high, because then it's like, well, if everybody's starting to jump ship, it might not be the people, it may be the manager.
Mhm.
And I've heard that because there's been certain talk at a certain job where, yeah, you know, so Brian's right. There is, but at the same time, I mean, take the military, for instance. At some point, we got to say, okay, if you got a misdemeanor, we'll hire you because we need bodies.
Yeah.
You know, there's waivers. So in the HR world, we'd be like, fuck, this dude smacked the shit out of a cop. Okay. But if it's past a certain whatever, you'd be like, nah, we're not going to take you because you wanted to go ahead and fuck a 13-year-old. So, you know, we're not taking you at all. It's just, Amber, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm saying. But it's just, Brian's right. There, you do get gigged, or you do get points taken away if there's too much,
Yeah.
or if you don't hire enough people during this quarter, because we need to keep bodies on the street, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So
Yeah. So I mean, if my worst cop is doing stuff, but nobody died, but I know he took a kickback here and there, you know, he roughed up a gang member for no reason, you know, I might overlook that because nobody's really going to say anything about him beating up a gang member. You know, with him taking the money that he had in his pocket, no harm, no foul. Who's going to report that? Not the gang member. So you're going to overlook a few things just to keep this man hired, and you're going to plan on getting rid of him when I get more cops in. You know, but at that time he's already done something stupid, and now,
but you know,
everybody hates your precinct.
18 incidents.
Yeah, that's my point right there.
George
That's
Floyd.
a lot. That's excessive. That's excessive.
George
That
Floyd
is-
was the. I'll be honest with you. The only reason George Floyd was
Who's got the echo?
brought up is because there was cameras. Can y'all hear me?
Somebody's echoing.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. That was
All right.
probably my fault, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, I got you.
The
Damn
only
it,
reason
Brian.
George Floyd was even brought up is because there was cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talked about the 2 Native American kids that he popped years ago.
That's exactly what I brought up earlier.
What was
And
that?
sorry, I was drunk. I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, you're fine.
And Bobby Leonard is right. We shuffled them.
Why did you say it like
You're a piece of shit. I'm gonna let you go over here
Yeah.
because I don't feel like dealing with you no more. And they probably do that in police districts. They'd be like, you know what? You're fucking up in this district. Let's send you over there.
Right.
Let's go to the 18th and see if you can do better there.
Right.
No, because you just sent him to the fucking Hispanic neighborhood where he's just gonna fuck up Hispanic people.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. So
I'm not sure who made that comment that just popped up. You're right. Some people make a bad mistake and then turn it around and be the best employee and productive and may even mess around and own the business one day, right? Be the CEO.
I can attest to that.
But what we're talking about is 18 occurrences.
No, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is a pattern. If you ever had a pattern, that is a fucking pattern, and
That's
it should have been handled a long ass time ago, and this man would have probably still had his life.
And
You know-
that's 18. That's 18 reported.
Dude,
Right.
if you're
Right.
18 times, nobody's gonna fucking keep you.
You should be gone. I
If
mean,
you
even on a basic job, you could be working at McDonald's. If you had 18 write-ups, your ass would have been fired.
Dude, I slapped the supervisor one time. If I slapped them 18 times, I'd have been gone.
Wait, what? So
I
you
guess
never
it depends
slapped
on
me.
if you slapped them 18 different times or 18 times on the one
Okay.
occurrence.
18
Well-
occurred.
I actually slapped them one time, but if I would have slapped them 18 days in a row, I'd have been gone.
So you never slapped me. That's hurtful.
At that point, you just
He's
kind of
power hungry. See, Izzo should not be a cop.
And then the other thing is, what kind of like these are dudes that are getting picked on in high school and they get that authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is. I feel that so much.
And I don't have a problem with cops. I have a problem with authority, whether it's parents, teachers, coaches, yada yada yada. So no, I love you, Amber. I didn't slap you. You're good in my
Not me, bitch.
But it's just
That's funny.
these people. When you put people who abuse authority with people who don't trust authority, there's always going to be an issue.
I don't have a problem with authority. I have a problem with the wrong person with authority.
Who would be the best cop? Man, not me. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, who would be the best cop of the? Who would be the of the?
Not me. I'd be number 4 or 5 on the list.
Out of us 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
They put 5 of us in here.
Out of us 5?
It's 5 right here. 4 or 5. If you rank it, I'd be
honestly. I think me or Rich would probably be the best cops.
Yeah, I
give that to you. You seem like y'all got the gift of gab a little bit better than I would have.
Brian, I think you come in. I think you would be like an amazing first responder, like a good fireman. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have been amazing fireman. You
got big old broad shoulders.
Yeah. I see Sosa just like taking a situation and escalating that shit where it did not have to be.
Right. I've seen that. I've heard about that. So.
That's a lot. I would take that situation, make it good, and then whoever was in the wrong, I would blackmail them for money.
Right. So see, Sosa's 5. All right. So Izzo is now 4.
Yeah. I was not in the top tier for that.
No,
that hurts my feelings. I think I would be number 1 or 2.
Ryan, you're with me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure me and Rich is 1 and 2. I don't know who's 1 and 2, but me and Rich is 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I put Brian at 3, based on Sosa's words a second ago. Izzo is 4, Sosa is 5.
Listen, hey,
I got a short fuse.
All I'm gonna say is blame Paraguay.
Go away.
Why am I in the middle?
Dang, why I gotta be like 4 out of these 5 though? Yeah, that's crazy. We all agree in here. Rich and Jason 1 and 2.
Listen, there was a reason. All of us have a reason for not being a police officer. I do believe that it takes a special person to be a cop.
I can tell you what mine was.
I can tell you what mine was too, because I strongly considered.
I actually did a ride along and everything. I thought about it as a high schooler.
Y'all crazy.
I mean, I'll tell you why.
So this is number 5 again, guys.
I'll tell you why I considered.
She's saying she drunk.
I'm from Orangeburg.
Hey, Robin, are you drinking Prosecco and vodka? She know what that means. She'll know what that means.
What?
Brian, he shattered you. He shattered you.
Can y'all imagine Brian arresting y'all? Hey,
Sean is alive. Good to see you, Sean.
Hey, Brian does not like the confrontation. I can tell you that. Brian is like, you know what? Let's just hug it out, man. Come on, calm down.
They don't hug it out.
That was what I say. That don't even sound like him. You wrong for that.
No, I'm telling you what Brian would say. Brian would like, I bet y'all got some dildos under that seat.
What? All right, man. This is like a wild left.
Oh wow!
Right, come on now, you know.
Not dildo.
I know what.
I don't know where that is. I have no clue.
Apparently, you know dildo really well.
I had some serious stuff to say, and I forgot.
Yeah, it's done. Y'all cut me off in a serious comment. Now I'm just done. I don't know.
I would show up to work drunk, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. Number 5.
So now Sosa done said that shit. Now people like, what the hell are they talking about? Nothing. I don't even know what the hell
we don't know.
About.
Yeah.
Dang, she said 5th glass. You got to
Damn.
Y'all counting? Are y'all really counting?
No, not you.
I heard. Sure, 5th glass.
Yo,
Sheesh.
she's letting that stress get out.
Anyway,
Hey man, COVID,
Man,
racism.
I'm
Oh, I
saying
thought
Man.
you were kind of my glass. Okay, cool, good.
hurricane season supposed to be super
Did he say on
crazy.
Twitter that Marcus was
dude,
laughing about?
hurricane season is going to be ridiculous. I honestly think 2020 is about to cash this check in.
Hey,
One of the
Yeah.
hurricanes,
came out.
hurricanes is
season
named
supposed to be-
Omar,
Dude,
and I ain't never met an Omar that didn't fuck shit up when he came in now.
Omar from the Wire.
Omar coming.
Oh yeah, that's
oh y'all didn't invite Omar,
coming.
right? Nah, Omar
That's
can't come
it.
over here.
Yo, the show. Yeah, that's the greatness.
Last
Omar
time
and
Omar
then-
come over here, there was Hershey's chocolate all over my cat.
And then Ebola.
All right, man.
What
I
just
don't know.
happened?
I don't know. I'm just here.
We lost control, man. We lost control.
Brian always lose control. What the fuck going on?
I'm
my-
not. I'm reeling it back in. I'm trying.
You are a horrible fisherman. 'Cause
Omar
this-
sounds dirty. No, if you watch The Wire, you'll know. You'll know. Watch The
Omar
Wire, you know.
nasty now.
Omar might be one of the best TV characters ever created.
Brian, my
Ooh.
comment was a shout out to Stephen Small, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is Steven here?
Oh no, probably not. I doubt it.
Oh okay.
That's
But
the version.
anyway.
I don't
I don't know.
so
I'm
I
just
mean,
here.
know what's going on down
I
here.
don't even know. There's really nothing that you can tell anybody right now. It's not like, if you go to the protest, be safe. You can't because shit's being provoked.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So Predator King. I'm sorry. What was his name?
Predicating? What are you talking about?
Oh, one of the
Um,
listeners.
Yeah. He asked if the marvelous Predator King. He asked if we went to the protest. this weekend. I have to be honest, I didn't because I'm kind of a spark plug and I'll start some shit.
Yeah, I did not either.
So instead, I went to a book drive, giving out. How do you say it? Donating, giving out,
Hey, how about you read those books? Yeah.
giving books out to fucking kids.
Fucking kids.
I don't do no reading.
No, I don't do no reading and I don't do no charitable shit either. But that's why I didn't go to those are the reasons I didn't go to the protest, because I do start shit and I just don't need to be in that.
I know I would have been totally frustrated when people
No.
started to do stuff that was really unnecessary.
No.
I would,
And I wouldn't have known how to react to it. I'm
I
not
tell
gonna
you
lie
what,
to you.
though, if there is any truth to those people walking around giving kids money to start some shit,
It's in
I
video.
would
It's on-
rob that person.
Where is this, like here or different places?
I don't know. I'm just seeing videos.
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, if there's any truth to the whole like stones and bricks being dropped off, the
Oh,
night before the
yeah,
protest,
that's true.
I'm seeing that.
That's
I actually
true.
saw a couple of videos
So-
with that.
that type of stuff, it bothers
true.
me because when you have protests, this needs to be protest, right? I
Mhm.
mean, something's got to give. But when you have other forces out there that are starting riots or putting bricks out there to say we want this to happen, so let's go ahead and set it up, type of stuff, that is insane, man. That is, I mean, beyond horrible.
There's videos out there. People like, this
No.
wasn't here a week ago. Where the hell did this come from?
Right.
Listen to the arrest records, like when they talking about how many people were arrested and all
Out of
that.
town
They
and stuff?
said 80% of the people that were arrested in Atlanta weren't from Atlanta, and they were
Even
from all these
here,
other-
even here
thing
was a
here,
lot that
yeah.
weren't from South Carolina, let alone Columbia.
I
It's the
mean,
it was the same thing in Raleigh as well. It was like
Yeah.
people came from like Fayetteville to fuck shit up. Like, why?
the
It's
mayor,
like an hour and a half away.
Mayor was on TV in a peace, love, and hip hop t-shirt saying, "All of you outsiders, take your asses home."
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Yeah.
real. But
Mhm.
listen, it's scary to me because if you want some sort of race war, right? It wouldn't take anything for some white supremacist group to drop these bricks and start a riot,
Which
because
is-
you have people that are on edge. And let me be clear, I'm not talking white against black, right? This is, in my opinion, just my opinion, this is not a white versus black thing. This is a everyone in the human race versus racism thing, right?
Oh, I agree.
So if
should
you want it to be a black and white thing, and you have black folks that are protesting and saying, this is got to stop and it's time for it to stop right now. It would be so simple for white supremacists to go out there and just push them over the edge. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And all that does, if you push them over the edge, and now you see black folks, Latin folks out here, you know, burning cop cars and breaking into the stores and stuff like that, it gives white supremacists all the recruitment they need and all the ammo they need to continue being racist.
Izzo, pay attention.
I am.
Well,
I'm listening.
One thing they did say here in Colombia, I was watching the organizer. I was watching the organizer talk about it Sunday, I believe. And he was saying that the incident at the police station that they had Saturday was started by a group of guys from out of nowhere, and they all had Hawaiian shirts on.
Oh, it's like this is the Proud Boys.
What?
Yeah, the Proud Boys, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So
it's just bright as hell. I can't deal with it.
So yeah, that whole incident was instigated.
Yeah,
it was started by them. And like I was explaining to somebody earlier, it was like, well, why didn't they go to jail? Why didn't they get in trouble? I'm like, if a window's broken, who are you going to blame? The person who threw the rock or the guy who gave it to him? So it's always going to be the last person that's been seen doing something. So of course they're not going to get these guys in trouble because that they didn't do anything. All they did was harass them and make them, and they started them off.
Right.
You know, they instigated the situation. So unfortunately, everybody's on the edge. You don't really know who to trust when you're at these rallies because it's like, oh, are the cops going to get me, or is somebody else going to get me? So you're just your spider senses are just tingling all over the place.
Which is sad because everybody goes to. You think everybody goes to a protest, do one thing. But nah, fuck that. They going to set your ass up and then bounce out.
Right.
Yeah, those guys. Oh, I got a gun. They ever come in my yard, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's thinking about you, man.
No.
And yeah, like, why do you want to flex your muscle in that? And why can't you bring up the fact that there's injustice going on? Why is it this me against us against them? Like, why is that a thing?
It's easy.
Why?
That's
Go ahead.
Quite
Go
they a bitch.
Hey,
I thought you were gonna give me I thought Rich was gonna tell me a story.
Can I get that on the shirt?
I agree with Jason when he says it's not. It's everyone against racism, but I have to call some of my people out because I can't believe how racist Hispanic people have been in the last, I don't know, however many years, because it didn't used to be like this. You got across the Hispanic from Mexico down, you have different shades. I don't understand how the fuck you can look at a Hispanic news channel or TV channel and just see European looking motherfuckers. We have shades across our fucking race. What the fuck? Who the fuck looks like that all the time? I'm sorry. Sorry.
I mean, if you ask television and commercials and movies, everybody that's Latino looks like Jennifer Lopez.
Okay, so
or like Sylvia Figueroa.
I thought you were gonna say something so different.
Let's break it down. In my community, which is the Paraguayan community, which is mestizo, they have mixed blood. There are some Europeans there, but also there's a lot of Native American Indian culture. Mm-hmm. You don't see a lot of blonde motherfuckers. You go to that channel, there's all kind of where the fuck you get blonde hair from? So I agree with everything Jason said.
I mean, I can tell you where it came from.
You're right. Walgreens, aisle 5. Yeah, right.
Man.
My point is, we didn't grow up like this, and I don't know where the fuck it had. I was talking to my wife, who's Afro-Latina from Panama. Mm-hmm. I was talking to her the other day. When Sugar Ray Leonard fought Roberto Duran, it was white people and everybody else rooting for Sugar Ray because he was American. And you saw every shade in the rainbow rooting for Duran, who was from Panama. That was 1981. What the fuck happened? When the fuck did you motherfuckers get racist?
That was 6 fucks in one sentence. I've never
The
seen anything
slave-
like that before. in
The
my
slave
life.
trade went from Africa to Brazil to the top of South America, all the way down to Colombia, hit Mexico. That means you have Africans, Native Americans, and because Europeans decided to rape us, all in one bloodline. Y'all motherfuckers forget where we come from. That's all I'm saying. Did I say it right? Did I?
No,
am I
you
right?
good.
assume you
Nobody
did.
about to correct you.
I'm drunk.
I assumed you did. Anybody correct your ass?
I just don't.
When we come out with our company gear, we got to get a silhouette of Sosa holding a glass just saying I'm drunk.
Oh god.
But no, all this makes me sad. And Izzo said it earlier, and I agree with him. This Martin Luther King shit, they're saying he was able to protest peacefully. He fucking dead.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't
Okay,
want to hear
so-
about we need a Martin Luther King. We need this, and I'm like, yeah, they did
So
it
let
that
me
way, and y'all
Same
still
picture.
murdered him.
They use that
But-
same picture of everybody lined up,
That
joining
bothers me
arms, and
so
everybody
much,
moving
guys.
peacefully. 5 minutes later, and I put this on my status message. 5 minutes later, they were beat. They were hit with water hoses. They were hit with dogs. Anything that you could think of that could happen out there, it did.
Okay.
So don't use the fact that a peaceful protest should be like Martin Luther King's protest when it was interrupted by violence and hatred 5 minutes later.
All right,
Right.
let me say this too. So yes, Martin Luther King, peaceful, dead. People forget Malcolm X started to become peaceful. What happened? Dead. You remember? He came back from Mecca. He's like, yo, let's get everybody together and fight this shit. And they shot his ass.
Right.
You're Muslim, Christian, let's just get together. Y'all, am I wrong? Y'all,
No,
you're good,
you're
you're good.
absolutely right. So,
I'm sorry, I grew up in the church. Y'all fucking got to say some noise.
well,
You wanted
that's
some
what you want me to do.
hallelujahs and amens in
I
there,
don't
brother?
know.
You ain't grew up in a
Point is-
Southern Baptist church.
I was
Cut
about
it
to
out.
say,
No,
they wasn't
in the
shouting in your church.
I gotta fucking acknowledge the
They
pastor.
wasn't stepping on the devil's neck in your church.
My,
All
my
right.
point is,
I had fire and
All right.
brimstone.
my point is, when
So you got
Malcolm
what you
came
wanted
back,
now.
when Malcolm came back and wanted to desegregate shit and make everybody one, they killed his ass.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fucking burn this shit down. I'm just saying. There's motherfuckers right now who I work with who are against all of this shit.
No,
But
you're
I
right.
guarantee you, if we take their
Good one,
Second
Ryan.
Amendment rights, they'll want to burn this shit down.
Mhm.
What's the fucking difference? We taking your property, you taking
I
motherfuckers.
guarantee you.
What's the
I guarantee you. Listen, I guarantee you, if you brought out the same force that they brought out for these protesters when they were boycotting and marching for a haircut 2 weeks ago,
Right.
you would have had a war outside
Brian,
real quick.
Brian,
real
I'm
quick.
talking about taking their Second Amendment rights. These motherfuckers would burn DC down.
Mhm.
But it's okay to fuck with a black dude in the street, fuck with Native American kids, fuck with Mexican kids. Fuck it. We got the right because we got a badge and a gun. But let them take away some fucking guns. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It
This
won't
is
be peaceful
weird.
protest then.
This is a weird time. And this is the sad part is like, this is a historic moment, you know? This is going to go down as a historic moment.
I don't want to hear that.
We are
Unfortunately, all historic moments aren't going to be good. So this is going to go down as one of them.
this
This
is
is an asterisk in the book.
this is one of those moments where they're gonna say like, where were you when?
I was drinking.
2020 was a Yeah, okay,
You know?
where you win anywhere from 20 to 40.
They're not even going to have a day for where were you? Where were you in 2020? That's it's just going to be the whole fucking year. Where were you in 2020?
I can't
That's what I'm
pinpoint
gonna
so
say.
much stuff. It's so much this year.
I was drinking, fighting Corona.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Because these
messing with you.
motherfuckers ain't in the street protesting with fucking masks on, you motherfuckers.
I gotta ask a question, yo.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, all right.
I mean, you the quiet kid in the corner that finally said
Yeah,
some real
what the
shit
fuck
right
is-
now. So it's kind of. You got my. I'm all tuned in to what you about to say.
Yeah, it's
Since you were
Pretty
better
much.
cop than me and shit.
sad again. Yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those. Why is America like not letting? I don't want to just put it on black people, but it is the truth because many of us are the reason why this country is here today. Why is it so hard for us to have our just due? Why is it so hard? Is it color? Is it the fact we had a black president and they're seeing us like we're on the quote unquote come
I
up?
think
Like I know it's people like it's
I got a
easy,
theory.
but it's like I personally, because I have a common sense, I just don't understand. I look at everybody as just color. Yes, there's a lot of stereotypes that might be true with some sectors of different races. Yeah, that's whatever. But overall, we're not
Mhm.
welfare queens. I'm not somebody who just lives off unemployment. I'm actually somebody who has a college degree. I think I'm articulate enough. Like, but that don't mean shit though. I still should be
I
in
don't know.
my
That's
place.
that was kind of bad. That don't mean shit. That was kind of bad. But
But that's
my
real. Like
theory-
I really don't understand.
my theory, and I'm just gonna say people. I think there
Mhm.
are people who have to have a class system or they don't feel complete.
Dude, that's
And
cases.
somebody has to be in the classes they create.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's easier to put the more easily seen people in a lower class because you can point them out. You can always see a black person. You can always see a brown person. They can't hide. Can't hide skin tone.
Nah, I can't.
Oh,
Dark as
No.
shit.
What Brian just said. Y'all watch
Yeah.
Fresh Off the Boat?
I love it.
Mhm.
Love it.
You remember that first episode where the Asian kid finally went to the school and the
Mhm.
black kid said, "Now you're at the bottom of the barrel, chink."
Oh shit. I forgot about that, bro.
It's the
Yeah, I remember
same shit for everybody, and people don't understand it.
So
But there are some people of color that fucking don't get it, and they fucking think, "Oh, I'm like them," until get back across the fucking line.
Oh man.
Yeah.
there's
Did I say something? Or
I
is
posted this a long time ago, and I just reposted a snippet of it. What?
Sosa's late because he's drunk. That's
Oh yeah, that's what that was.
Go ahead, Jason.
I posted this years ago, but then I reposted it recently to Facebook. But
Mhm.
there's this little white lady, and she's an anti-racism activist.
Jane Elliott. Jane
Yeah,
Elliott.
I can
Mhm.
never remember her name. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the snippet I posted recently was her just talking to an all-white crowd,
Mhm.
right? And she just easily says, for all you white folks in here who want to be treated like we treat our black citizens in today's society, stand up.
shit?
Right? And no one stands up, right? And so she says, you must not understand what I'm saying, right? So all you white people that want to be treated just like we treat black people, stand up. And it's a camera that goes across all these dumbfounded faces, like what the
Them
hell?
motherfuckers know.
So her point is, what she says next is, what that tells me is you don't want it for you and your family. So then she asked the question, why are you so willing to let our black citizens live that life?
Nah, fuck them.
Right? So that
Damn,
that is
Sosa.
real. Sosa.
Go ahead, Jason.
Fight through it, Jason.
That's reality. Like that is very intense, right? I wish that every white person could do or not white person. That's so wrong with me to say. I just got reverse racism, if that's the thing. So I wish every racist person could do two things: take a DNA test and be in some sort of lesson with someone that's an anti-racism activist, and be asked a question like that just puts them in their place and makes them rethink their whole life.
I'm gonna say this. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah. All right.
What the
Rich had a theory, and I think we cut them off like 3 times.
Oh my
Go
god!
ahead, what's your theory?
Sosa got me.
As far as what was the point that Izzo we were talking about a second ago? Because I want to make sure I'm answering it back the way that you were saying it.
Damn it.
He was asking why.
Why?
Basically, like, why is it that anybody of color, well, I'm gonna say this different. Anybody on the darker color spectrum, why is it that you have to be held down?
I mean, I think everybody's already gotten to the point. It's basically it's a caste system. You know, you can't, you know, and exactly what y'all already said. It's like, you know, you can, you know, I can't, you know, reasonably speaking, I can't change the way I look, you know, and you add that to the fact that you're talking about a group of people that were literally enslaved, and bringing all of that full circle to where it's literally it was just another ploy for economic empowerment, right? Because we know that it wasn't the rich white people that were fighting the Civil War.
The hell no.
So what happened?
Drop your bars.
So what happened? Right.
So
what happens is that
it wasn't trailer parks back then, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what happened is you got this class of people, right, who there's a similar look, if you will, between them and the rich folk, and they're like, you know what? At the end of the day, at least I'm not them, just because I look a certain way. And so
that's when it pretty much started in America.
And that's where we started. And then if you look at, and this is to Sosa's point, every demographic that has come after has had to basically play the odd man out until they got the opportunity to assimilate. Because the reality of it is that no one had the unfortunate opportunity to have the Black experience. So all of the mental gymnastics that had to be done to unravel the way that we have our own psyche set up of, you know, how we were treated basically like animals for several generations. They don't have that. So when they come here, it's like you already on a leg up. And I'm not saying at all that it's like I'm looking down on those people, because hey, if you got your come up, great. Yeah. But doesn't change the fact that
getting my come up.
Right.
Yeah. But
so
go ahead, so
Rich's point, I'll never understand, and I got a lot of love for him growing up with him. But the Italian experience.
I knew that's where you were going.
That's why you like mob movies.
Rich said, I can't understand why you would act the way you act with Black people after knowing what your ancestors went through just to deal with the English and the Irish people.
Right.
You out your fucking mind, dude. Like, y'all were darker skinned than they were. So you knew what it was like to go to school and get fucked with because your skin was darker than alabaster.
Yeah.
But it's okay for you to do it in the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like Izzo it brought to my mind. Lombardi was darker skinned.
I was about to bring that up. Yes, sir. Was
darker skinned than a lot of, and he held on to that after he helped found the NFL.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're
That's
talking.
why he was such a great leader. He was one of the first teams with like a lot of black players that pretty much treated them like men because he knew what the fuck he went through as a child.
And if you're old enough and you remember The Godfather, Godfather 2, they said the N-word a couple times. I'm like, y'all forgot when y'all were like that?
But it's like Rich said, at least I'm not them.
But the point is,
it's gotten to the point.
You weren't them.
Go ahead.
My point is, you weren't them to that extent, but you still knew.
It. That's the difference.
You still knew there was a level.
Even if it's an inch higher, they're higher, I guess.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the point is, you weren't shit to the Irish and English at that time. You were an immigrant. You were a dog. I don't get it. I'll never get it.
But to what Rich said, man, and this thing, it goes all the way down to, all right, so everybody says at least I'm not them, okay? So you got white folks saying it, you got Pakistani people saying it, you got Asian people saying it, but then it gets all the way down to us, okay? And then we start doing it.
Right.
I'm light skinned, at least I'm not them, at least I'm not dark skinned people.
Right?
Damn.
It does.
Colorism. Yeah.
Bars.
To that point,
yeah.
Then Americans do it to people who aren't American. They do it to Jamaicans, they do it to Dominicans. You know what I mean? I remember Izzo saying Dominicans don't say we're black. Well, they don't say we're black because when they're in the neighborhood, black people making fun of them because of their accents. Jamaicans too.
Yeah.
That's where the Trinitaros and the Zopans come from, because y'all fucking with us because of our accent. Fuck y'all. We got our own shit.
I ain't picking at no Jamaican. I'm scared of them motherfuckers.
I'm just saying.
Brian's the team shot us one too many times.
It's all right. Just don't mess with the Haitians, man. That's a whole nother story.
They get fucked with, and it's like, we're not American, so we're gonna fuck with you, or they're not American, so we're gonna fuck with you. Right. So you know what I mean? It's just everybody has to, for whatever reason, everybody has to push them down. Now, remember Fresh Off the Boat episode? Now you're lower, so you got to go down at the bottom.
Right.
And that's not right. It's like,
because he was seen. Like I said, people do that because they're seen. He's the only Asian dude in that school. He's so visible.
I get it. I was there. I get it. At that
point, at least I'm not the only Asian dude in the school.
Right.
So now the black dude had done pushed himself up a little bit higher because he's not the only Asian dude in the school.
I 100% get it. But instead of hating, let's bring you up. Okay, now we're together. Now we can fuck with these suburban ass motherfuckers.
Right. You know what? In all of this, it's really strange how we literally just launched a damn rocket into space, right? So those are probably the smartest human beings that left the planet, right? But then
from the US, which
right?
is a big thing. Yeah.
Right. So that's one. But two, it's the thing that gets me when you think about this, right? We have figured out how to escape gravity so we can leave the literal Earth.
Doesn't matter.
And we found the science to do that, yet we're still arguing about the concentration of a chemical in people's skin.
That's why aliens
saying that for some reason that adds value.
That's why aliens
like if
which only exists to protect us in our native environments with which we were created.
Right.
So can I rewind real quick to Rich's talk about cased or cast? I always get that wrong. Cast is so. I'm probably fucking up. I'm sure I'm fucking up. But in the pregame, I said,
so you don't pregame, you just drink.
Pregame.
It's the game, motherfucker.
I'm playing. Go ahead.
Anyway, in the pregame, in the pre-show, I said in the early 60s, Ali lost his title. He was he was stripped of his title because he wouldn't go to Vietnam. Or he wouldn't be drafted. Sorry, he wouldn't be drafted. Okay. There's a picture of Bill Russell, Jim Brown, and
Kareem
who was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar later on.
Yep.
Supporting him. Rich said that wouldn't happen today because of contracts. At the which was only an hour and 15 minutes ago. I was like, nah, I agree with Rich now because it's going to end up being rich versus poor. Oprah Winfrey still hasn't said shit about what's going on in Minneapolis.
Right.
Because she has her fucking own network and Queen Sugar is the shit.
Right. What?
No, I'm following.
No, I'm with them because there's no like if it is going to affect your pocket, most people aren't willing to go hungry for that cause that they believe in.
Rich's first comment was loss of life or life of finance.
That's correct.
So that either you're gonna fucking die or you're gonna stand in line, which is what all of these superstar celebrity peoples are like. Yeah, I like Cap. I'll say I stand with Cap, and then I'll go.
That you bring up a good point right there, Sosa.
I'm just
how is Cap looking right now to everyone?
Cap should be looking like $100 fucking bucks.
Put that man on a bill.
Wait a minute.
Like
you know, for real, because 4 years ago is when he started it.
Yes, sir.
But all of a sudden, you're not good enough to be in the NFL. But Cutler is good enough to be in the NFL.
They talking
Hey,
about
yo, calm down in them comments now. Calm down.
They talking about the dude off of Queen Sugar, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, calm it down.
Calm it down.
If y'all don't know, Jay Cutler used to throw to the other team.
Jay Cutler's a piece of shit, and he is.
Jay Cutler was stupid, but he had a job up until 2 years ago. Cap been out of the league 4 years.
Matt Schaub's still in the league.
Listen, there's third string quarterbacks who can't throw shit. They're still in the league. Cap's not in the league.
Kaepernick took a team to the Super Bowl.
Michael Vick went to jail for 2 years. He came back. You can't give fucking Cap a fucking
about it. I totally
they still hadn't forgotten. They hadn't forgiven Vic for that shit. There is no forgiveness. There is no forgiveness for a brown skinned man.
But no. We're not saying that. But how is he able to get back in the league? How is he still able to do that?
Listen,
that's what we're trying to figure out.
Who's the dude that shot himself in the leg in the club?
What you say?
Who's the dude that shot himself in the leg? He was a wide receiver. Burris.
Plaxico.
Plaxico.
You said Plaxico.
Placebo.
Spanish and English.
Balls.
Sorry. Spanish and English are tight. So Plaxico Burris shot himself in the leg in a New York club.
He's there.
Illegal, and he came back the next season. All Cap did was kneel for the shit that we're dealing with now. 4 years ago. That's it.
I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you when did Mike Vick do whatever he did? Like what year?
2000.
Seven.
It was before. Was it before 45?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, as well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's the difference. That's the difference. If he had done that while 45 was in office, he would have been targeted, and he wouldn't have been playing.
He's been targeted.
No, 45 didn't say anything. This man has a cult-like following, and it's the weirdest shit. We know that. We talk about this every week. I don't understand it. I'm not trying to. I don't have the time. So when Cap did that, it was during 45's time. This man needed something to put his name on, so he attacked Cap. So all of a sudden, now everybody's watching him.
Thank you, Rob.
Everybody's watching him. They done. Yeah, everybody's watching Cap now. So he can't move without this cult-like following watching where he is.
Yeah.
And these guys are buddies with these big names in the NFL.
They're
And
really
they're
not
not going to
buddies.
lose. They're not going to lose their club membership over a player.
They're not.
Right.
But remember, Trump was like, "I want to be an NFL owner" in the '80s, and like, "Nah, fuck you, you're whack."
Mhm.
So,
And we found out how much of a lame he is now, even more.
I'm just saying, it's just Cap looks great right now because he's been doing the shit that y'all been talking shit about this whole fucking time.
Is that an air horn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
You
do it,
didn't
don't do it.
hear at the beginning of the show? I said, "Did I hear an air
Oh.
horn?"
He
All right.
been doing it.
I mean, all right. Vuvuzela, a vuvuzela.
He about to get his
I'm sorry, my
ass
parents
whooped,
live
but
downstairs.
That's funny.
They don't
They're
live.
gonna be a,
I live
gonna be a
with them.
flip flop. Flip flop gonna come out of nowhere and
Yeah.
hit you in the side. Of the
No,
head.
they live with you, fool.
They live
You
with
said
me.
it wrong. They live
he
with you.
sorry.
about to get his ass
know,
whooped on
English
live.
is backwards, so I was thinking in Spanish. Anyway,
Oh my god, this idiot.
So
what?
Cap should have been had his back in the NFL if he wanted to.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Like-
so there's a if
Damn,
people
Rob.
could just come together and see what he was kneeling for in the first place,
Didn't matter.
maybe we wouldn't have got to where we are right now. And I'm all for protesting. I don't dig the rioting and the looting and stuff.
No,
like
none
that.
of us do.
I don't
I
mind.
think that's way out of line. But I also understand people when they say, "Hey, we've been peaceful for so long, it ain't got us nowhere." I get it. I
Mhm.
don't know what the answer is on where the happy middle ground is, right? But I don't think the rioting and looting is where it's at. But it is very simple. If you're not going to listen to people when they get out and they take their celebrity like Cap did and kneel and say something has got to give, I'm telling you, we got to stand up against police brutality. That right there is when we, as America, no matter what the color of your skin is, as America, that is when it should have been listened to before then. But at that point, that should have been the point that it said, you know what, something's got to give. We got to change something somewhere.
But how many
There's-
things? Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is we ran out of options.
Yes.
They say, hey, y'all don't need to burn anything. Do a peaceful protest. We did that, didn't work. Okay, y'all got these celebrities on these big platforms. They need to use their platform to make a statement. Did that, didn't work.
Mhm.
Y'all need to raise money for something. Blah 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 blah. Raise money. Did that,
What
didn't
the
work.
fuck is this? Fucking Krispy Kremes?
What?
The hot
Mhm.
signs on.
What the fuck?
I don't
Sorry.
know.
Go ahead.
So
Brian,
anyway,
go ahead.
yeah, everything was done. It didn't work. The
Yeah.
last thing that you can do is to be loud.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're loud, you got to bang trash cans.
I'll say
No.
this. We got one more. We got one more.
Say it.
November
Taking a
3rd.
bad life.
November 3rd, 2020.
Oh, the
Nah.
election.
No,
No,
no.
listen.
Why is it a nah? So
You got
So
one more?
because we're fucking up shit in our own areas. If y'all remember when the whole Rodney King shit happened,
Robin is
everything was cool if you fucking up Watts. Once
Damn,
we
Rob.
hit Hollywood, oh, we got a problem.
Right.
Once you start fucking with their shit,
Yeah.
now, okay, wait, stop. Okay, we'll listen to anything you gotta say. Don't fuck nothing else up.
Mhm. Now
That's
you
the
see, but listen, you know there wasn't any kind of action toward, or there wasn't any kind of attempt to get the military and the cops involved until they started protesting in front of the White House.
Mm.
Which
When-
is
what are you talking
their right to do so.
It
You
is.
talking about when bitch
Well,
in a bunker?
he already had the Coast
Mhm.
Guard activated
Yeah.
in certain places,
Well,
National
but
Guard.
he
or the
but
Coast
he
Guard?
didn't
Yeah, I heard
have he didn't have like active military, right?
well, you know, again,
Or
man,
not,
it's
did I say Coast Guard? I didn't
you
mean
said Coast
Coast Guard.
Guard.
Yeah,
We,
you
I
did
didn't
say
mean
Coast
Coast
Guard.
Guard.
we let that
My
slide.
bad. Sorry, Coast Guard. Sorry
I'm
about
gonna let
that.
you.
I meant National Guard.
Thanks,
Am I
appreciate
right?
it.
Am I right
Yeah.
on that?
No, you're right. You're right, brother.
Yeah, he activated National Guard, but then he did. But now when they started surrounding the White House, he was like, all right.
So wait,
we're gonna bring out some. I don't know how to say this. I'm sorry, Sosa. I messed up.
no.
I messed up with the Coast Guard and National Guard. I'm sorry.
So the governors activate the National Guard.
I was gonna say
But
that.
the president, as a commander in chief, can say military, active duty military go in, but on a limited scale.
There you go. Thank you for that.
Man, you know what? The whole thing, even with this man operating this is how you can tell that this man doesn't give a shit about anyone other than himself. Literally, Twitter put a fact check link under a tweet, and this man had an executive order signed in 24 hours.
The next day, yeah.
But
This
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
yet we can't
with
get anything else
with
done
this
today.
right here, we have an issue where you're talking about not only the fact of a law enforcement agency killing a man because of an because of an improper way to detain a person, but then you also had 3 other officers stand by and watch while that happened.
Dude.
You know what that shows me? You know what that shows me?
He didn't say anything, no executive order, no statement that this is a problem, nothing.
Listen,
So I mean, that
It shows you.
it shows who he is.
It shows you how easy it is to get something done if the president wants to.
also,
Less than 24 hours, he had something drawn up, approved, and signed.
Even though it
Well,
really
website.
can't do anything, but
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of don't matter what he did, but
it's just, oh, I did it. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
it
possible.
also shows you can
It
have a
shows
hurricane.
how-
that
it
happens-
shows how childlike he is what it shows.
It shows
I
what
think a
so
lot-
The president of the United States of America should be able to take someone like Twitter fact checking him and take that shit to the chin and take it with some class. There was no class in that.
class.
There was zero class. But it
Zero
was just like, oh, okay. You gonna come at me? I'm
And he
gonna
got
come at you. You know, it was very
He
childish.
honestly could have parked an F-22 in front of Jack Dorsey's house and been like, "What's up?" But I mean, I just don't get it, man. He's literally, it's like he's everything that we tell our kids not to be as.
True story, Tamika.
And then to see, I mean, here, you know what was funny about when I saw that executive order? Because for some reason, that's like the thing that was just like, this is complete BS.
I
Is the
see a
fact
lot of y'all have bullet points over certain things. I remember that. Mhm.
And it's like, all right, he's what, 73?
Yeah, going on 4.
Right. So here's, but like, think about how many people over the age of 70 do you know that actually give a shit about what people think?
Right.
Normally,
Right.
they telling us what they've been through, and that's the law of the land. Normally,
Right.
They don't care what our rebuttal is.
Or they give
don't
zero
care.
fucks, like Richard
They don't
said.
care what our rebuttal
They
is.
don't
They don't care.
So it's
They don't
like,
care.
so to see him literally take that as like the worst possible thing to ever happen to him is laughable. Like the whole time, all of the person that Trump emulates to me is, I don't know if y'all remember the movie Gladiator, but Joaquin Phoenix's character Commodus, it's like watching him just play that role out with a modern adaptation.
He want to be,
He wants to be loved by everybody, but then you have the guy who's considered the hero keeps coming back, and all he has to do is say something, and everybody loves him for it. Also known as Obama. So I mean,
dude, this motherfucker hate Obama so
it is
This
nuts.
motherfucker is tripping. So we're talking about a man like Sean Taylor said. He ran into a bunker. This is the same dude when Parkland shootout happened. He said, I would run into the school and help people. Bitch, you got bone spurs. Shut the fuck up.
Thank you, bitch.
Pussy ass.
Oh, yeah.
Robin, put the bottle down, Robin. Robin, put the bottle down.
Hey, Robin might be my hero. She wins MVP.
It is almost midnight. It is almost midnight.
Sometimes.
This is one of the last things I have to say because I know it's late and I bet
we're an hour 30 now.
But
Feel me.
I mean, we acting like we ain't grown men with.
I'm off tomorrow, but I still don't want to keep y'all up too late because I know most of y'all probably work. But Steven Jackson, the retired basketball player, he was a real good friend to George Floyd, and he says something that I think is really striking. He says, he's like, I never made any all-star teams or all NBA, but he says, I am all first team common sense. And he says, I don't get how many times, like, we know all these people's names. We can go Sandra Bland, Philandro, like, we can just go down the line. We know these names and all this. I know these people aren't blocked from not knowing these people's names. So why are we still spinning our wheels, acting like it doesn't happen? It's swept under the rug. It's like, we're going to get stuff drawn up. Still, how long are we? Like, how long ago was Trayvon Martin? I know that wasn't a cop, but still it was racially motivated. What was it?
5 years ago?
Yeah, like where are we with anything?
Nowhere.
Like my thing is Rodney King was
30 years ago.
30 years.
Yeah, it was 29 years ago. It was 1991.
You know what's funny? You know what I think?
Still nothing.
It seems like people are more like the people that are not on the side of justice are getting more frustrated because there are more marches, but I think their anger is misplaced. What they think is frustration with black folk and the marches, they're really frustrated with the law enforcement too. They just don't know. They don't know that they are. I think they're confused.
Huh?
Because the angrier we get with the more killings, more cop situations, the angrier they get because they think we're complaining.
How are we fucking?
So that is something should click. Like, why are we angry? We're angry because more cops and more black people are upset because of more cops. Maybe if we help.
No.
Something. See something. Say something.
Listen, if you obviously, I don't know if you guys know, I'm a big stand-up guy. Richard Pryor made a joke saying they're beating us, and white people are like, those people are resisting arrest. And it was a sample used in NWA's second album. That was over 40 years ago. It's still the same thing over and over again. Rodney King was 29 years ago. It's still the governor of New York, Cuomo. He said the same shit. All of this shit happened 29 years ago. Somebody got a Pulitzer Prize for the Yellow.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
What the fuck has changed? You got a Pulitzer Prize, but ain't nothing changed? Momentum? I'm sorry.
No,
you didn't. You're good.
It's fucking frustrating, man.
Y'all be talking, and then I start talking, and then y'all shut the fuck up. Okay.
Oh, we ain't supposed to listen?
Oh man, I was like, this kind of conversation.
When your point's gonna hit, and then when your point hits, it's like, oh shit, that was a point.
When you leave,
He might have walked around the bend, but he came back.
He got back to it. Yeah.
And people have to understand we have to support, because if they don't fuck with black people, they're gonna fuck with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already seen that. We've seen them kill unarmed white men the same way they kill an unarmed black dude.
But the point is, before you're a black man, you're what? You're a man. Before you're a man, you're what? You're a human being. What the fuck, man? Who the fuck treats people like this?
Yeah. That's my stance right there.
You motherfuckers.
Yeah. It's good versus evil. It's humans versus racist motherfuckers. Is what it is.
And okay, let me sober up real quick.
Impossible.
No, I have to say no because I have to say this for two reasons. So over the weekend, a lieutenant colonel in the South Carolina National Guard said, "Shoot the looters." Okay, so that's 1960s racist talk or vocabulary, whatever. Okay. Somebody else said some of the same shit. Sean, I can't fuck with you because that's racist. so anyway, so another person that I used to actually look up to as a mentor said the same shit. So now, me being who I am, I have to pull back because not only am I Hispanic, I have Native American background. My parents are not from this country. My kids are half black. So there's no way I can let none of this go. Fuck my career. I give a fuck about my career at this point. So, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I can't let that shit go.
Right.
It's sad. My son is 16 years old. And again, I'm sobering up to say this. If something happens to him, that person's family is disappearing.
Oh, God.
I don't care. I'm not saying I did it. I just know they're disappearing.
Chances are people would know.
I don't care. I'm almost 45 years old. At this point, fuck it.
No,
My 16-year-old son, something happened to my 16-year-old son, somebody's family's disappearing. That's on tape.
Nah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
on the cloud.
It's
on
live,
wax.
too.
It's on wax. It's on wax.
Straight
No, actually, it's in
digital.
the cloud. It's in the cloud.
Brian can't
Digital
edit that.
footprints of that shit.
Brian can't edit that shit.
Yes, he can.
I can too. I can do anything. I'm an amazing producer.
You're anonymous? So if y'all don't know, Brian's anonymous.
I said I'm an amazing producer.
No, he said
Cut that
you're
shit out.
anonymous.
Calm down. Anyway,
It's just sad that
Robin,
it's sad that me as a man has to say that shit this far in life.
yeah, it's a fear. It's a fear. It's a true fear. I fear for my niece and my nephew every day.
Yeah.
They're not attacking like grown ups doing dumb shit anymore. They're doing kids too.
I'm scared.
So the shit is scary.
I'm scared.
It's
anyway.
all the way scary. I saw videos on social media where they just straight up, the rioters or whatever, they literally just took a board and hit this old lady, and just because she was standing there saying, "Hey, this is our business," and they said, "I get zero shits." Buddy haymaker her one time, and then the other dude took a board and hit her, and then hit her husband or whatever. And I
How
was
old
like,
was she?
"This is crazy."
How old was she?
She was an old lady. It was their storefront.
Exactly.
I'm
Can you imagine your grandmother having to deal with that shit?
That's what I'm saying. And I don't care what color the skin tone is. You don't mess with old folks. I mean, if somebody was to hit one of us, right? And let's say Mike Tyson was to hit one of us.
Oh,
I'm dying.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
dead.
dead.
It's gonna hurt us. That's my point. Mike
Hurt?
Tyson was to hit us.
I probably won't feel it.
Loss
It
of
can legit
life.
hurt us. I mean, brain swelling type stuff. We're talking Mike Tyson.
I would
think
pray
about-
that God took me out of my body before that.
Okay, and think about who you are saying that. Now think that you are a 80-year-old man and Mike Tyson crossed you. It's crazy.
I would pray that God took that 80-year-old man before Mike Tyson hit him. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's a fear we never had to have. We probably maybe should have had it, but we didn't know. It is a blatant thing now.
No,
And then-
Like you have to be fearful now.
And then being a family man on top of that,
Yeah.
bro.
no.
I'm gonna say what Sosa said. That would some bodies would disappear if they came in my family, right? And
Rich
that's
said slavery was 2 people ago.
Mhm.
The dude who got dragged in Texas in 1990s, that was barely a person ago.
Damn, I forgot about
Barely.
right, right.
Was that the 90s? I thought that happened
Yeah.
like maybe.
No.
Oh,
It was the 90s.
that. I think that was like high
It
school.
was the
for
late
me.
90s, though, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It was the 90s.
Yeah.
No. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to remember. It don't make it no
The
better.
point is, the 90s wasn't, but what, 20 years ago at this
Dude,
point?
I keep wanting to say 10 years ago. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was
Can
20
you
years ago.
imagine that? So
Yeah.
it's like, holy fuck, yo. We're not, how far have we really come?
Mhm.
And someone was dragged in SC. Matter of fact, me and my wife was having this conversation. South Carolina's known for what recently? Dylan Roof and the cop who shot that one dude running away
In Charleston, yeah.
in Charleston. He was running away. He got shot in the back.
Mhm.
And a Confederate flag coming down. Those are the 3 things we're known for in the last 5 years. Are you fucking sick? And then, hey, shout out to Dawn Staley. She's bringing in some good shit, but that's lighthearted. Anyway,
What just happened?
Yeah.
so Dawn Staley's got some recruits and she's
Oh, I
running-
know, but where did that come from?
because
I think he was just saying stuff that we're known for in the last
we're
year.
known for.
Oh, okay, I'm following now. Got it.
So it's
But
like
it was bad, a little bit of good.
dude, it's
Yeah,
we're not that far. What 130 years, but Jim Crow has been a what 40 years, 50 years.
Bro, yeah.
Mhm. I think they had
Strom
one
Thurmond
of the
just died
states.
like 20. When did Strom Thurmond die? 10 years ago?
Late
no,
90s?
I think he
Late 90s?
plugged up
no,
somewhere.
no. He died when we were in
Wait a minute,
college. I remember being at IHOP
Yeah,
and
his
somebody said
brain-
Strom
his
Thurmond
head is
died, and I
on
said, "Good."
cryogenic
Sorry.
somewhere.
Do you know why I know Strom
Like
Thurmond?
Futurama.
Why?
Do you know why I know Strom Thurmond?
Why
being
filibusters?
Because of the Source magazine.
Hmm?
Because the Source magazine said these are the people we need to vote out.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've said that many times. I mean, there's got to be term limits, or we will not have any change. It won't be.
I think we have right now the oldest Congress in history.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And
And so
that's a big.
The way it is
issue.
currently, they just have to die out or get
Listen.
Alzheimer's or something where they can't be in their seat anymore before we get somebody else in there. There has to be term limits because the way that we think, right? And the change that we think needs to happen when we're the ones living right now,
Mhm.
someone our age group or maybe even a little younger than us should have been voted in. There just has to be term limits. There's no way that we can change and move on and progress without it.
And Lindsey Graham, he's
Bitch.
like he's
I-
Republican and
Why you
he's
say
all
I?
about the Bible.
Was he about to say something fucked up?
No.
I know what I'm gonna
Lindsey
say.
Graham is great. He's about the Bible.
He's a damsel in distress.
LGBTQ, onomatopoeia. In the-
Claire.
Wait,
But
did you just say he's cute?
No, he
No.
called him a damsel in distress.
I said LBGTQ plus onomatopoeia.
I thought you
Because they-
said
they're
he's
using
a
all our
damsel in distress, he's cute.
No,
Did you just call him a letter person?
isn't he?
Jesus.
He
I
didn't
don't
come
think
out
he's
yet?
out. I don't
No,
know.
he's not a letter person because he won't admit it. Oops.
Yeah,
whatever.
and like like Sean said, he was, and Robin just said it too about South Carolina being one of the last states. I mean, listen, not only 5 years ago, I was in this small town at a funeral for someone in my family, and I seen the craziest stuff in my life. This white dude had 2 black gentlemen in the back of his pickup truck and pulled up to this old little gas station. And they legit jumped out and waited for his direction to tell them what to do. And when he told them what to do, one of them said, "All right, master, thank you." That was just 5 years ago. My mind was absolutely blown.
Hold on
How
a
did
second.
that happen?
Wait. Let's back up. Where the hell were you at? Because I need to know not to go there.
You know,
No, I want to go there. I
By
got second
myself.
amendment rights. I want to go there.
it was this small. I mean, there literally is like there's not even a stoplight. It's like a stop sign. And I don't
You
even want to
didn't-
say it because there's probably good people there. That
And you
might even
didn't save him? You didn't throw him in the trunk of your car and take him to freedom?
Man,
I mean, when I heard it, I looked at both of them and I was like, y'all okay? And they just smiled and went on about their business. And I was like, I mean, but really, are you okay? Like, I'm baffled right
terrible,
now.
man. It's terrible.
I
Yeah, I
could
want
say
to
this-
go.
I could say the same thing for the people who think their 45 is the best leader of all time. They just want a leader and they don't know anything better. They think that's the right way.
This bitch shut the
Until
lights
something
off
goes
in the White
bad.
House for the first time ever.
He what?
He shut the lights off
That
in
wasn't
the
him,
White
yeah.
House for the first time ever.
Because he's a bitch.
Pussy. How the fuck did he make it through the vaginal canal?
All right, and that's going to be the show tonight, guys.
Jesus.
Why do I
mean,
always-
I gotta go. So that's my time. That's my cue. That is my cue. I'm out.
Peace,
Oh
man.
my god! Hey, so if you want to listen,
Oh my god.
oh
Yep.
man, if you listen
I'm
to the audio, it's on
discriminating.
YouTube. Of
So
course, I
that is
put
the
the
perfect
audio.
time to close out. We
Yeah,
started
that's that.
on.
I was waiting for it. I was double dutching. I'm like, oh, there you go.
We opened on lip glosses popping, and we're closing on how did 45 make it out the vaginal canal.
Oh my
That's it. Perfect show.
I'm
Perfect
glad
show.
we ain't got to worry about getting canceled.
Can I can't repeat the Helen Keller quote.
No.
Nope,
We
absolutely
don't,
not.
No, we don't do that
Absolutely
here.
not. So anyway, our audio is on SoundCloud, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, and what's the other thing?
We're going.
Spotify?
We're getting a website.
Spotify. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We're
And
getting a website.
yeah, we're getting a website. We're gonna have that up soon, and of course, the video is all on YouTube. All of our videos. This is like episode 110 or something like that. So anyway,
You lost count, motherfucker.
yeah,
You lost count.
No.
Yep. Anyway, we'll be back next week, Monday at 10. And hey, appreciate everybody that stayed in.
Robin, don't these fools still haven't watched yet, but I'm with you. I saw it last night.
I'm not watching this shit yet, man.
I still need to watch it.
I
And
gotta
yes,
go.
they should have. He deserved that.
Epstein.
Robin,
needs-
drink some Gatorade and some water and take an aspirin. You're gonna be hurting in the morning.
No,
Yeah.
I'm taking 800.
Hey, Robin, before he logs off, Issa shot a 3 from half court for that. That's all I got to say.
Man, y'all stop talking about it. I ain't seen it yet. Bye.
Stop, man.
Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for allowing us to keep you company. Peace. And now it's that awkward moment when we gotta wait for this to stop.